And the other thing that God knows is He knows that our culture today is suffering under a tremendous identity crisis. And you know why we're suffering under a tremendous identity crisis? Is because we're trying to fill the void in our hearts and our lives with everything else except the God who's the only one that can fill that void. And we're trying to fill that part of our souls, that part of ourselves, that only God can fill with all kinds of other things. And see, all too often people identify with particular things, and that supposedly is supposed to be the all-encompassing summation of who you are. I have a friend that I've known for years. He puts on his blog, I am a gay such-and-such activist. And I'm like, brother, why do you have to use gay to describe who you are? Is that your identity? He said, yeah, that's who I am. I said, that's not who you are. You're so much more than that. You're talented, you're creative, you're gifted, and someone gave you those gifts. Someone gave you those talents. Plus, you have a name. Just use your name. That's who you are. That's God called you to be. In the Bible, over and over again, when God had a new purpose or a new plan for someone, He would say, your name's no longer Abram, your name is Abraham, which means the father of many nations. Your name is no longer Jacob, but your name is Israel, which means one who struggles with God and prevails. So if you say you're a gay so-and-so, you're defining who you are by your sexuality. You're more than your sexuality. I'm a fair prosecutor of all people today, okay? So I'm not picking on the LGBTQIA, whatever, add some more initial. I'm not picking on that community. Let's take it even further home. Some people get their identity from their parenthood. Moms, I'm a mother. I love my baby. When my baby graduates from high school, I feel lost. Well, you're a mother. Once a mother, always a mother. Sure, I get that. That's okay. But your identity better not be wrapped up primarily in just you being a mother. You're so much more than that. You're a daddy. Be a good daddy. Obviously, always a daddy. Once a daddy, always a daddy. Be a daddy. They'll still need you to love them and mentor them in their 30s and 40s. In fact, when they're 13, you're dumb. When they're 33, you get a little smarter. But once a daddy, always a daddy. But here's the deal. Don't wrap up your whole identity in being a daddy. You're more than that. Some people have their identity in what they do for a living. I'm a baker. I'm an electrician. I'm a plumber. I'm a doctor. I'm a ditch digger. Whatever it is, you fill in the blank. That's what you do for a living, and that's good, and work is good, and it's wholesome, and it's what God wants us to do. But is that the totality of who you are? Of course not. So we have to be careful about getting our identity from things or from stuff that we do, and make sure we get our identity centered in the one who created us and centered in the one who gave His life for us. When we do that, we'll have more of an idea of the purpose and redemptive joy He has for us. You see, when your identity and my identity is centered in the God who created us, then we're getting our identity from the guy who made the blueprints. He knows how you're wired up. He knows what blesses you. He knows what excites you. He knows what brings joy to you. And He also knows what wigs you out. He also knows what frustrates you. And He's designed each and every one of us in this room for a redemptive purpose to live into. So why wouldn't you surrender yourself to the one who can give you joy, can give you fulfillment, because He knows what you need and what He created you for.